Hello and welcome to MCFC 9320 PUBcast. I've got gremlins in here and I've not even fed him after midnight. Good evening, everybody. I'm a little bit under the weather today, but got myself off my sick sofa to come and try and have some fun. Hello, Anne-Marie, Stanley, Paddy, and anybody who's in the chat. Wow, been a weird old few weeks, hasn't it?
Certainly has.
Yeah, we've got to start off with the thriller at the Villa, haven't we? To be honest, I might be disillusional. I don't think we was that bad in the first half. After the first 40 seconds,
we weren't. And that's the thing. You can't say we've played really badly in any of the games.
no.
But it's been split-second lapses of concentration, if you like, or bad decision-making that's cost us these games lately.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a lot of truth in that. Stan, right? This is my take on things. The players are being hammered. Pep's being hammered for one reason or another. I'm gonna give an instance of Bernardo, mate. Bernardo, people are saying he's having a shit season. Yeah, possibly he is. That guy looks dead on his feet. He's playing every single minute pretty much. He's playing on the left. He's playing on the right. He's playing every single minute, as I say. There's no respite for players like Bernardo, is there, mate?
No, and we've alluded to it. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. You can't, you're not going to blame it on one pass or one person. There's a problem right through the club. But I've not heard anyone actually say yet a very valid point that have we become victims of our own success?
I think
what I'm saying is, right? Do you remember years ago when all these teams used to win 3-4 Premier Leagues on the run?
Mm-hmm.
Going right back to the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. Well, actually, no, we don't do it because nobody's ever done four.
I'll take your word for that, Stan, because I'm sure you can remember them days. I can't.
No, as Stan rightly says, no one else has done it.
No one's ever done it, right? And to be fair, when people have won a couple of leagues on the run, they say, oh, it's really, really difficult to win two because the next year, everyone wants to take the champs. After 3 years, everybody really wants to cheat the champs. And after 4 years, everyone's going hell for leather to beat them. They really are going after them. Now, let's not forget, on and off the pitch, we have broken this league. Absolutely broken it. Mm-hmm. And the only way they seem to be able to stop us now is rewriting rules, bringing in unlawful rules, doing all a little bit. Now, off the pitch, there's other things that are going on. How much I'm trying to condense this because I'll expand what I'm talking about as we go on through the podcast. But
you say you're dancing?
Yeah. So it's it'll go that how much of this takeover between Cheeky and the new guy has affected what's going on. Because Cheeky told him about 18 months he wanted to retire. So they spent a little time. Now, what's the point of spending 200 million on somebody who's leaving when the new guy may come in, who's got an excellent track record of getting cheap players in and doing it? If you want to spend 200 million and then sack a manager, we might as well go look out at the pantomime that we saw this afternoon down at Stretford.
Oh no, we don't.
Oh, yes.
Hey! Right? We've had this one. So you've got that. And the players themselves, I think, they're not broken, but mentally and physically, they are absolutely exhausted. And Paddy studied his sport. He knows that what's the first thing to go when you've got mental and physical fatigue? It's your concentration and your ability to make the right decision at the right time.
I was going to say
Right?
something else.
And we're
Thank
not
you for elaborating on it.
No, and we're not making the right decisions at the right time. I mean, all this about people saying, "Oh, we don't create any chances." Nobody has created more chances than Man City. Nobody, all season, and we were creating chances against Villa. Whether anyone believes that or not, go back and watch the match. We created enough chances. Now the problem is we're not making them decisions of when to shoot, when not to shoot. Little under hitting and over hitting. Balls going forward, balls going back to the keeper. Nunes been fantastic going forward. Plays one bad back pass. We get punished. We get punished going backwards every time. And if the defence is getting punished, you're immediately under the cosh. And you suddenly need 2 goals to win games. Now, when you can't finish, which is what we're not doing at the moment, it's going to be very difficult to get those goals, no matter how many chances you make. The thing that keeps me going is we've made loads of chances. It's teams that can't create a chance. They're the ones that you're going to worry about.
Yep.
And that, Andy, is a combination of all that.
It was interesting.
Sorry, I'm just going to wrap up now. And it's a combination of all of that. All of it. It's all coming together to create the perfect storm of misery.
But it's interesting to see the way, so like yesterday, fairly early on in the game, they made comment about how Foden hasn't scored in the league yet this season.
Yeah.
Which he then went on to do at the end of the game. But for me, I think I'm going to question our owners a little bit. Not Pep's much, but our owners a little bit. And me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you for why. Because I don't necessarily think we've bought wisely in the last 2 transfer windows.
Why is that the owners?
Well, because who pays the money? Who makes the decisions?
So, are you telling me that Pep doesn't make a decision whether Pep must have a list of saying these are the players I would like. Then it's down.
You're probably right, Andy. But in honesty, can you say that in the last summer, and hopefully this winter, we've made good purchases?
No, I'd tell you what it reminds me of a little bit of, and being honest, Anne-Marie. It reminds me a little bit when Klopp didn't refresh his midfield and that, and they just not fell off the face of a cliff, but they was way off the pace. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. But listen, it's easy to.
Well, yeah, but it's easy. I know what you're saying, but in honesty, if you look, so just take the Rodri position as an example. This isn't new that we knew we needed somebody who could step in for Rodri. It's not just this season because of his ACL injury. We knew this last season. We knew this season when we won the treble, that we needed somebody who could back him up. And yet we didn't go out and buy that because Kovacic was never going to be the man to replace Rodri.
But we got somebody in to back up Rodri. We got somebody to back up Rodri in the front. His name was, what is it, Andy?
Calvin Phillips.
No, Gundogan. We brought him back, and everyone was delighted because
Gundogan was
No. Let's not go down the road of hindsight FC, right? When we got him in August, everyone was delighted because we thought we've got a backup. No, we got a backup, which is what we needed.
For me, he was never a backup for Rodri. It was all about he was there because they thought they were bringing somebody back who'd done a decent job for us,
decent job. The skipper who won the treble.
This season he hasn't.
No, because he wasn't expected to start. He wasn't expected to start.
Game anymore.
He wasn't expected to start. And he wasn't.
Can I just remind you, Anne-Marie, you was delighted when we brought Gundo back?
No, I wasn't. Not like you and Paddy. No, I wasn't, Andy. You can watch them all back. I wasn't as delighted as you and Paddy.
Right,
no
listen.
way was I.
Right, like, listen, I can see we're going to be having a mass debate tonight over, and I've wanted it a quiet night as well. Right, Paddy, I'm going to come to you because you've not said anything yet. Right, so, right, and by the way, I've seen some of the comments, and there's some great comments at the moment, and I will go through them, I promise, because I think a lot of them are something well worth discussing. But before I come to that, Paddy, right, and a bit of it's like what Stan said, hindsight FC, right? Gundogan, for instance, yeah, me and you was delighted. So was thousands and thousands of City fans delighted to come back. You tell them, and I keep saying this till I'm blue in the face. Do you think Gundo expected coming back playing this amount of games? Do you think Gundo... Listen, even before Gundo went to Barcelona, he wasn't playing every single game. And now all of a sudden, people expect a year older Gundogan to come back and be a prime Messi.
But I'm going to go back to the point you made several weeks ago as regards the squad. Starting off this season, the squad we had, there was no need to add additions to it because it had just won 4 in a row. They were playing off the charts. We can't see into the future. We don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knew Rodri was going to get injured. Nobody knew the team were going to collectively go off form and almost fall off a cliff. Nobody could foresee that. I certainly didn't see it. And then just to kind of reinforce what Stan said about the decision-making process, when human beings, no matter what your role is in life, if you're tired and you're stressed and it's not going right, you're not necessarily going to make the right decision for yourself or for others around you. I think yesterday was a prime example of that, not singling anyone out. But if you look at the first goal, John Stones tackled the Aston Villa player inside the Aston Villa half, leaving the back four exposed. So the through ball took out the whole defence. If John Stones hadn't have been there, and it stands in hindsight, but that kind of decision, and then just to reinforce that, Akanji did it for the disallowed goal. He went into the Villa half and tackled, and they scored even though it was offside. But he did a carbon copy of what John Stones did. Now, I do think, like, and this is not having a go at anyone because I was very disappointed yesterday. I think you then, as a person, you have to think to yourself, I know what the manager wants me to do. I know he wants to play this high line. I know he wants to play this particular style of football. But, like, when your back is against the wall and things are not going right, you have to take a bit of responsibility and say, okay, this is my position and I'm going to play it to the best of my ability.
Right.
But if that means not crossing the halfway line...
Paddy, you've led me into something really, really, and I think it's pertinent, this point, mate, what I'm going to make. You've mentioned, and quite rightly so, so you've got Akanji just missing out a little bit on a tackle, yeah? You've got Stones just missing out a little bit on a tackle or his positioning or whatever. Now, they're not fully fit. If they was fully fit, that fraction could have been a tackle. That fraction could have been onside, playing them offside. We're talking about fine margins here, and I'm not putting everything down to injuries, but
I agree.
But you know, it's like me saying to Stan, well, Stan, are you playing football tomorrow? And he goes, no, I picked a tweak. I picked a tweak up in last week playing. Oh, come on, you'll be all right. And then he goes, yeah, all right then. I'll play tomorrow then. And then all of a sudden, tomorrow, he's not running as quickly as he is. He's not putting a tackle in like he should be. Because it doesn't matter if he's on 300 grand or if he's on £3.50 plus 2 Freddos or something like that. Your body's your body. It doesn't matter whether you've got the best physios in the world. It makes the odds whether you've got the best physios in the world or not. Your body is your body. Now, it's quite clear Pep is... Listen, there's an argument to say, why isn't Pep playing the kids? In my opinion, I think Pep's been a little bit loyal to some of the recognised players. If I'm being totally honest, But why shouldn't he be a little bit loyal in a certain respect? Because look what them players have achieved. And, the amount of games what they're playing is unbelievable. And now they're playing with injuries, which they're playing now with fatigue. In my opinion, I'll be totally honest, I think Edison switched off. I think his head's gone. So I'm going to come to the point what Anthony's here. Andy, question, mate. 5 positions you would strengthen in January and the summer. Straight away, bring a keeper in, not necessarily. And feel free to jump in, you guys, as well. As I'm chatting here, I would bring a keeper in, not necessarily to replace Ortega, because I do personally think that Edison's gone, whether we like it or not. That's just my opinion. Nothing here because I'm not an ITK. It's
an
just
understudy Shodi Ortega. Is that what you're saying, Andy?
Me, I would be saying bring a keeper in, and then whoever has the best pre-season or best World Club tournament, whatever, then in fact I would probably try to bring a keeper in January. That's how serious I think that position is. But with a keeper, you can't piss around changing them game in, game out. It didn't work. It never worked under Sven with was it Gunnar Nielsen, Joe Hart and Kasper Schmeichel. It never worked. But what if you've got a pre-season? It's like, right, guys, you are going to start the season off. You are going to be my number one. The first chance you get, number 2, you're coming in, and then it's up to my number 1 to win that position back. Not chop and change. It's got to be fair across there, because a goalkeeper's position is, as we know, is different than any other position on the pitch. I think it's well documented, Anthony, that we're going to need, for me, an established right back. And that's not, I'm going to go with Kyle Walker, because I will back Kyle Walker until the cows come home, because what he's gone through, yeah, some people might say some of it's his own doing. Well, no, racism against him, people slaughtering him, that's not bringing it on.
Hold on a minute. We had this weekend, we got in this podcast. Kyle Walker, what? Dropped his pants in the pub, pissed up against the wall, and had an affair. And now he's public enemy number 1.
No. Listen, mate. We're seeing it now, and we're going off piste a little bit here, but we're seeing it now with Rico getting it, KDB getting it, Haaland's getting stick now. Guardiola's getting stick now. Listen, it's time for us to back these boys now, because they bleeding need us. They bleeding need us.
But if you watched Haaland's interview post-match yesterday, that's exactly what he says. We need the support more than ever now.
The other 3 positions I would go for, I think it's a cert. We're going to need some sort of better quality defensive midfielder, for whether it's to not fight with a play. Everybody's taking it for granted that Rodri's going to come back. Rodri, how we know Rodri is.
No.
Injuries affect people. Listen, and these rumours Rodri's rushing back because he wants to help the team. I tell you now, I don't care. That is utter bullshit. Do you think that Rodri will rush back to help the team because we're going through shit? Not a chance. And no physio, no manager would let him do that regardless. So for me, write Rodri off this season. Let him have all the TLC he wants. Not this he's going to be back for a couple of games, towards the end of the season. Don't care. Love Rodri, but you're not coming back this season. I want you to take care of yourself. But because before that, I'm on one tonight, am I? Because before that, you was playing too many games anyway, and that's contributed to your injury.
And the irony says he stated that before he was off injured.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So people thinking Rodri's come back, and the same, everyone's pinning their hopes on Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob had a brilliant pre-season. He really did. A broken leg. And anybody who's had a really bad injury, sadly I have. I'm not saying I've competed at that level. However, psychologically, you must overcompensate. So if you've had a broken leg, will you be going in for them challenges? Will you be overcompensating because you don't want to do out causing, say, a hamstring injury? So again, don't pin your hopes on Oscar Bob coming back for January, being Oscar Bob like he was in pre-season. Give the kid a little bit of time. Don't put pressure on him, because everyone was putting pressure on Rico Lewis, and now they're slaughtering Rico Lewis. We've got to get out of this. Other two positions.
Answer the question.
What?
The 5 positions. Right
That's
back, goalkeeper.
Right back, central defensive midfielder. Haaland is another one who's burnt out. People are slaughtering him. The minutes that guy's playing is unbelievable. It's bound to be catching up with him. So I would be having somebody to help him a little bit. And I do think we do need a more creative midfielder. So they're the positions I go for. I don't know about you.
Well, I think you just left out centre back.
No, because I don't think a centre back's necessarily a rush, mate. Because
I'm not so sure, Andy, because I think we've got two at least very injury-prone centre backs, both in Stones and possibly Aki.
Does anybody get any stats for Stones? How often he plays?
But I heard something.
We're looking to get 15 games a season out of him.
Right, so
I 60-game season.
I questioned somebody on Twitter yesterday with this, and it's all about opinions. It's what was the wording now? It was not libelous, because that's the wrong word. It's what's the word? It was basically negligence. It was negligence that we've played Stones with a reoccurring injury. In that case, anybody who gets an injury, let's not play them. Let them hang the boots up.
Right. Do you want those Stone stats? I can give you them.
Come on,
this year.
Come on, Stato.
This year he started 8. Last year 16. These are just league matches. The year before 23, 14, 22, 16, 24, 18, then 27. So while he's been here, he's never started more than 27 games a year in the league.
But Stan, everybody loves John Stones. Everybody loves him. Hang on, and people say don't be sentimental. Get rid of KDB, get rid of Walker. Hang on a minute, they've actually physically contributed more than John Stones has. And by the way, I love John Stones. I'm not going to go at him. I'm just taking sentiment.
I'm not having to go at him either.
I'm not saying
him and Diaz are our best centre back pairing without any question.
But how many times has Diaz been out?
Exactly, and that's why there's a hesitation about at least 2 centre backs, because Diaz is turning into the same kind of thing. But you have to question that. So do we then go and do we need to have somebody there as backup?
So how about this then, right? And this is just my trail of thoughts. Once we've got a near fully fit squad, you won't see as many. You won't see as many injuries. You shouldn't anyway. So we'd have a proper Ake, a proper Gvardiol, a proper Diaz, a proper Akanji. I'll still always put doubts over John Stones as much as I love him, and he's one of my all-time favourite City players. However, he's not going to be. Well, Stato's just give us the stats there on it. I was surprised about that. I thought he'd start in a couple of seasons. He started more than that, so that shocked me a little bit. But it puts the emphasis on the point of the other centre backs. I don't think we're that bad. But again, it's about your opinions. Who you would bring in?
I would go along with what you said, Andy. I would go goalkeeper, right back, but for me, I'd go centre back. A backup to Rodri, or somebody who can play in Rodri's position, and somebody take the pressure off Haaland.
And by the way, if we brought somebody in to play in Rodri's position, it don't mean to say Rodri can play a little bit further forward as well. It'll give him that. We saw it a little bit, didn't we? Sort of like the back end of last season, where Kovacic was coming in, Kovacic was dropping back, letting Rodri go forward a little bit. They started that little bit of a tandem. So it don't necessarily. And a lot of people always use the word replace. Why we don't have to replace? How about complement? We don't have to, because KDB is coming towards the end of his illustrious prime. We don't have to replace him. We can bring somebody in. When we brought Rodri in, we didn't get rid of Fernandinho. We kept Fernandinho there to bed Rodri in, because Fernandinho was doing a year-by-year contract with us, which was the right idea, because Fernandinho knew he wasn't going to be able to play another 2, 3, 4 seasons in the Premier League. He hung around and sort of like educated Rodri. And then when Rodri come in, it was like, wow, what a player. Now, that's not just because of, wow, that's Rodri, what a great player he is. By the way, he is. I'm just an example. That's because he's had time to bed in with somebody like a Fernandinho, so and getting to know the system.
Yeah, but we've tried 3 times now to bring in somebody who, as you use your word, to complement Rodri, i.e. Kevin Phillips, Gundogan and Kovacic. So it's not that we haven't been trying, but going back to your point, Emery, about the owners, and I've learned this off ex-professional footballers, it's not the owners that are doing the buying. At Man City, at elite clubs, there's a committee. You have your chief scout, you have your director of football, and you have your manager. And they all have a veto on players. So a player is highlighted, say by a scout. That list is compiled, it's brought to the boardroom, and around that board table will definitely be Pep, because he has to work with the player, obviously. There'll be the director of football, and there'll be the chief scout. And between them 3, they'll decide if that player, and they will talk to the other players and get a character reference and stuff like that, and they'll do their homework. But
do you think we've possibly been scared to spend money this last couple of years?
No.
I don't buy into that, and I'll tell you why. Because they're building a big shiny hotel and a big shiny stand.
I know, but I'm just thinking of this PSR stuff.
It doesn't,
Yeah.
Structures and stuff like that, Marie. It doesn't come under structure. PSR and FFP and stuff like that don't come under structures or anything like that, infrastructure.
No, but with the buying of players and things like that, that all comes into it, doesn't it?
I don't listen. Nobody will truly know. There'll be people out there who think they know, but the truth is, nobody will ever know that. Things like that will be kept behind closed doors. But here's an interesting fact for you. What did I do in the past week? What City couldn't do?
Got 3 points at the Etihad.
No.
Jesus, don't tell me the wife's pregnant. Did you hit the target?
No, I got 3 points at Villa Park. No, driving past there, I got a flash the other day.
Who
Is the fella all right?
Somebody like that with a Mac. Woohoo!
Was it cold?
Yeah. Well, it's just, at least I can say I got 3 points at Villa Park.
And do we think that this case with the 115 charges coming to an end has got any impact on what's happening with City at the minute?
I don't think so.
No.
Depends what show you listen to.
Bearing in mind, nobody knows anything.
I only listen to the one show, Andy.
The one show?
Yeah, this one. The one that I'm on.
I was going to say, Janus is not on that anymore, is it? No, but it's right. It's like, it's for me, I don't think so. I just think it's an accumulation of everything this season. Maybe Pep and the players have run out of that oomph and steam, which they're entitled to. 4 seasons, the amount of games and the amount they've won. Listen, it's going to happen. Football's in cycles. It doesn't mean to say he's not going to refresh. Should he have refreshed with other players? I'll lean a little bit towards what Paddy says with that about, it's not just the players or the size of the squad we've got. We've got players within that squad who can integrate and play in many different positions anyway.
I know, but then it goes back to Pep liked working with a small squad. And is that beginning to cost us a little bit?
I think so, yeah. I think so. Especially in light of, And we're forgetting it. It's not just the injuries. Listen, unprecedented amount of injuries. Every team has them. However, not on this scale. On top of that, you're going to have players who are out of form. You're going to have players like Bernardo, Haaland, who are playing every single minute. Listen, they're not robots playing that amount of games. And now we're in the Christmas period where it's going to be even more games and earlier kickoffs, like we've seen 12:30 kickoff. We've got 12:30 kickoff on Boxing Day. And then is it Leicester something like a
2:30 kickoff?
2:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully, they're all localish games, but I just think it's an accumulation of everything this season.
Yeah, but if you go back to 2015, 2016, and somebody says to you, well, the next 8 years, City are going to win the league 6 times, would you take the deal?
Of course I would.
If somebody, listen, years ago, if somebody said to me, City are going to win a throw-in, I'd have took that.
But like, it's about perspective. No, people get caught up in 4 in a row. But like, when you expand that out a bit, it's 6 out of 7.
Mingy Wong, good evening, pal. How hope we can buy some new players in January. It's been a terrible few months from November till now. It has, mate, and it's certainly brought it home to some fans. You know, listen, for me, and again, we don't sensationalise things on this show. You know, we'll have a rant, we'll have a laugh, and Anne-Marie will get her baps out sometimes and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I've got a special T-shirt for tonight, lads.
Stan, do you take your blood pressure medication?
Hang on, why just lads?
Well, the girls might like it as well.
Well, so you know what I mean? We have a laugh. We don't sensationalise things like it's this. There's no point because no matter what we do or what we hear, we cannot influence what's going on. It's like being sat in a traffic jam. You might rant and rave, do road rage. It's not going to get you further forward. So it's pointless being stressed over it. I've learned that over the years.
The reality is, as much as we love it and we love the club, it's a game at the end of the day. There are more important things in life.
And when the club start calling us customers, are they as arsed as we are? You've got to ask yourself a little bit of that. But yeah, to answer your question, we've got to, and I think Pep's acknowledged as well. But I think the club's done a little crafty thing there, like they did with other staff who I'm not going to mention a few years ago. So, have you noticed Sam Lee and Jack Gorn have pretty much saying the opposite stuff? What's coming out of City at the minute? I think City are throwing little moles out to see where it's coming out. Because it depending on who you listen to, we're either not buying Bruno and what's the other one, Zubimendi, or if you listen to the other one, we are.
Do you know? I don't listen or read any of them, Andy.
Do you think Newcastle are going to sell Bruno or whatever you call him in January?
Yes, mate, I do actually, because Eddie Howe's actually come out and said that unfortunately they may have to sell, even if it's one of their better players, because although they're the richest club in the world, basically they've not got a pot to piss in because they're in the same boat as everybody else. They have to abide by all these new stupid rules and stuff. So we will bring somebody in, but it all comes down to preferences. Everyone's got, Zubimendi, you know, we've got to get him in. I bet half of these people who say we've got to get him in have never seen him play.
I don't know him. I've never seen him play. Or did he play against us?
Either way, we will be bringing somebody in. Listen, I'm not an in the know, as people know, but it'd be stupid not to bring anybody in. Yeah, Pep doesn't like normally to bring anyone in January, but he's got with the injuries and stuff like that and lack of form and stuff like that. I don't think he's got an option, especially with this Club World Cup doodah, what do you call it, thingamabob coming up as well. You all right there, Stan? Yeah,
no, I'm just listening. I'm enjoying the show.
You're part of the show, Stan. You can do it,
so yeah,
just having a think on what people are saying. You know.
Yeah. Just while Mike says signing players in January is risky and expensive, hence why City don't do it. I agree with that, my friend. But I don't think, like I just said, I don't think Pep's got a choice really, unless the club are happy to finish wherever we finish this season and go again in January, in the summer. However,
need top four, Andy.
But
need top four.
But none of us know what's going on behind the scenes, do we really? But there we go. Adam, thank you. Is a YouTube member. Listen, mate, you must be bonkers, mate. Thank you. It's appreciated. But anybody who watches this show must be as bonkers as us. But we appreciate it anyway, all the same. Martin says, question to the board. Without Champs League next season, no big players are coming. I don't know. I think Pep's still got a bit of a pull, where players would come, because he's not... Stop being rude, Paddy. Paddy's disgusting, isn't he, Anne-Marie?
It's like working with children.
To be fair, we've not had any. We've won things without. Well, at the time when we bought them, we bought non-big name players like Rodri, Fernandinho. They weren't
George
big names
Weah.
when we bought them.
George Weah.
De Bruyne, he wasn't a big name when we got him.
Rubinho.
No, we didn't rim with him, did we?
Lee Bradbury. I'm still gutted. We sold Lee Bradbury just when he started hitting form for us.
No, but the thing is, we've had players that have come in that aren't big names and turned them into big names.
Yeah, I mean, look at Diaz.
Aguero.
Just as an example.
Aguero, David Silva.
Gundogan.
Yaya. Listen, Yaya Toure wasn't a massive world star when he was at Barcelona.
He was moved out by Barcelona by Pep to accommodate Busquets.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we've had players becoming.
I think Gundo expected a player staff role. I agree, 100% agree with that. No way did he see himself playing so many minutes, nor did Pep. And that's what I was saying, pal, early on. He never did before he went to Barcelona, but everybody expects him to be 10 years younger coming back and prime Gundogan. It's not going to happen, and it's unfair. It's unfair the shit what Gundo's getting at the minute, because he was quite clearly in the second half yesterday. He was run off his feet. He really run. And people, oh yeah, but he's on 300 grand. Couldn't give a shiny shit.
Does that make you run faster? It does.
To be fair, mate, it made me run a little bit fast. I might be able to do about 10 yards an hour.
I was going to say, yeah, if you got a shiny one in your shorts, you're going to move a bit quicker. No doubt about that.
Sorry?
Did you have to go there, Stan?
Yes, I did.
I hope you're talking about the back end.
Shit happens.
Gary Lineker.
And in case I forget, people, I just hope people do have and this is important, and I mean this. We've opened the chat in our Facebook group for anybody who's feeling down or anything over Christmas. My DMs will always be open, as I'm sure the guys are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't go to Stan because he doesn't even answer his WhatsApps half the time. So, I'd come to Anne-Marie, myself, or Paddy. Seriously, our DMs are open because Christmas is not for everybody. We understand that. So the chat's open 24/7. In our Facebook group. So don't suffer in silence and be on your own.
Exactly.
I mean, football's a game. Life's serious.
And it's all confidential. Won't go any further than whoever you speak to.
No, and that's true for that, because I wouldn't even tell these three if somebody comes to me in confidence. And that's the way it should be. Adam's, no, I'm not reading that. You nearly had me then, Adam. Devious Ducket, relegation loading, Pep in the mud. I tell you what, it ain't gonna happen, and I will bet. You know something? I think Pep is a genius. I think he's trying to get us relegated before the Premier League do.
Tell you another thing. A long lost tradition will be reinstated in a few weeks when we hit 40 points and everyone celebrates.
Yeah, exactly.
Get Chris Wood. I didn't know Chris Wood is actually a City fan, Chris Wood, isn't it?
I said get Chris Wood as a backup to Ireland in August.
You did, mate, didn't you? Bella Mo says Walker and Vardiol cost us a goal a game. They are done. No, they're not done. I refuse to say they're done because
Vardiol's when he's starting off in his career. How's he done?
22-year-old international who's played World Cups and all sorts. He's done.
And
oh God.
Rodri alone won't fix this mess. I absolutely agree because Rodri's not going to be available this season. I think the key to it all is a new signing or two, but most importantly, getting Diaz back fit and staying fit. And the only way that's going to happen is if he's coming back and he's half fit. I'd rather Pep say, listen, just take as long as you need.
Yeah.
Just take as long as you need, because when you come back, I want you firing for the rest of the season rather than having to keep in and out.
I reckon somebody's out of contract at the end of the season, so I reckon in January if we put in a cheeky 10 million bid for this Van Dijk fella at Liverpool, just to see you through to the end of the season. It's piss boiling. I'll go through the roof.
Right, here's one for you. I forget who said it now on I noticed it on. I still call it Twitter. It's the Saudi League's 6-month thing. You know, say to Eric, come back for 6 months.
Oh, I've seen that. Bring the Eric back.
Just say just for 6 months. You know, just to because he knows the club. And I think this is key. He knows the club. He knows how Pep plays, his system and stuff like that. So it'd be easy for him to fit right back in rather than somebody who's coming in and doesn't know the way we play and stuff like that. Anthony says 2 defenders, right back, CDM, and another striker. I would put a keeper in there, not necessarily 2 defenders, but you know, Kyogo is that the guy at Celtic?
Yeah, he's
a good little player, him. Yeah, Adam says I would love Kyogo, whatever he's called. I think I said Kiora then. I'd say yeah, and we was touted with him, weren't we? I don't know if it was
during the summer.
Yeah, he does look as if he's got a little bit. Davey says recall Callum Doyle and Peroni. I tell you what, I feel like Peroni myself sometimes, mate. I really do after what we've been seeing, but. That's a different story. But we've got kids already here. It's quite clear Pep isn't playing them for one reason or another, whether he doesn't want to expose them. Listen, they'll either sink or swim, won't they? So there's no right in people saying play them. There's no right in people saying don't play them. We won't know until... Because that pussy looks good, doesn't he, Paddy?
Pusey. Yeah.
Paddy?
Oh, absolutely. Can't beat the bit of pussy. Or pussy, whatever you call it.
We've got the players there, so I think over the festive period, Paddy, behave. I think over the festive period, we will see some of these kids because we've got even more games coming up now.
That's what we're going to see. We're going to see a bit of the P over Christmas.
Davey says, Gvardiol, Lewis and Walker are liabilities in defence. Well, what I would say is Lewis has never been a defender in his life.
I know, but we have to I know what you're saying, and we say it every single week, Andy, but we have to stop it.
Stop what?
Stop going on about him not being a defender.
Why?
Because ultimately, whether he's a defender or a midfielder, he has to defend to an extent, doesn't he?
Oh, okay then. It's like me saying to you, Anne-Marie, we fly us to Benidorm. I don't know how to fly a plane. You don't know how to defend.
But that's what they're supposed to be doing in training all week.
But they're not getting time to train because they're all injured. They're not training. They're pretty much not training.
We're back to, it's like a conversation we had months ago, that what are we doing with corners? Are we training them? Because we can't beat the first man 9 times out of 10.
Good. I'm glad we're not doing any training on corners. They're an absolute shit way of scoring goals.
But I think
cheating, Stan, innit?
I think Lewis he's a utility player. He fulfills many roles. He's not a specialist in any area of the pitch. He's a hell of a lot more valuable to Pep than somebody who's injured. So because he can fill in at right back, or he can fill in at left back, or he can play in the middle of the park. How many players at Man City can do that?
Listen, I just think that everybody needs a bit of support at the minute. I really do. Because everyone says City are a second half season team. Well, we've got to be proving that, haven't we, this season more than any season? Not to win the league, to finish potentially in a Champions League spot. I'm not saying we won't. Not saying we will. Me and me arsed. I support Manchester. I support City in every league, so it doesn't make a lot of difference for me.
I think we have to win one match, and it's Everton up next, and they kept Chelsea out today, so they're not going to be no walkovers.
And they've kept clean sheets against Everton and Chelsea. Sorry, against Arsenal and Chelsea. But listen, I'll be honest, we're not going to win the league this season. Listen, I'm not overly. However, how funny is it going to be where Lego Ed Arteta will be like that? This is a chance to beat Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, and they still come second or third because Liverpool and possibly Chelsea will finish above them.
So the Arsenal fans are in meltdown over that.
Good. Devious says 2 losses away from relegation zone. Yes, but if we'd have won yesterday and Liverpool won today, would have been 6 points off the top. So, buts and maybes. Listen, it's still.
Devious Ducky's a cheery old soul. He wanted Pep out as well, I think.
No, he said Baps out, but that's not till the end of the show. Pepper's players on the bench he can use, but he refuses. And we don't know the ins and outs. I'm not making excuses for Pep, but I know one thing for sure. He's better qualified than me to know why. Now, like I said, regarding the kids, they'll sink all this. They'll swim, won't they, Stan? You know, would you bring some of the kids in, Stan, or can you see why Pep's doing it? What wake you up, mate?
It'll depend on the kid, innit? You look at Simpson Pusey.
Who?
Stan's centre forward for the EDS.
Centre half.
Yeah, Simpson Pusey. You look at him, and
Simpson.
I think he started in the game where Brighton we lost. Then he was in the Sporting Lisbon one. We got battered. Then Pep thought, right, okay, we'll give him a bit of confidence. We were 3-0 up against. He came on with McAtee, another kid. That didn't end well. So
didn't something like that happen against, was it Feyenoord, where it was 3-0 up and they brought someone and we just got roasted? Anne-Marie?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the Feyenoord game, he took off Aki and Gundogan.
If anyone's wondering where Stan's gone, he's got a reoccurring injury. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I think we were 3. He took off Aki.
Another madman subscribing. Member for 17 months. Crazy. But thank you all the same. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he took off Aki and Gundogan in that game, and we ended up finishing the game 3-3.
But the reverse of that, if you play the kids and Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne are on the bench, why aren't you playing them? Why are you playing kids? Why are you doing this? Why? There's no pleasing fans.
Right, Paddy, serious question now, and Anne-Marie, and I both want your opinion. Steve's comment there, do you think it'll give them more energy or less energy for the second half?
Get your head out the gutter, Andy.
If it's better than getting an orange, and we have half time. I know that. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, it beats oranges, doesn't it?
they must be shooting somewhere.
Mark says we still need at least 13 points to avoid relegation. It could actually be 53 points. If I believe there was he used to be a well-known broadcaster apparently spreading shit that we're getting 40 points. He was telling everybody he wanted to listen at Anfield, which he denies. Stan, I've just asked Anne-Marie and Paddy, do you think that'll give the players more or less energy for the second half?
Stan's buffering.
Stan?
He's coming.
I'm sure he lives in a cave. I'm fucking sure of it. Just one Mike says, buff it for one from the curry house. Bye and happy Christmas. Take care, I'll catch up with you over Crimbo, mate. Here's an interesting stat for you as well. In fact, I've not been to the Hong Kong Chippy on the way to the match all season.
So we can blame you for the way we're playing.
I think so. I actually think so. Gordon says 40 points. I wish. Bella says Guardiola's pants. He has cost a goal every game for the last 5 games. He's a dud. What I will say, I won't say he's a dud. However, what I will say is in a pretty poor run of form where he has cost us goals. I thought the Rag second goal, he could have done better to clear that. But I certainly won't call him a dud. Not a chance. But my opinion. Kathy, good evening, Kathy. Hi, Steve Black. I've been keeping away from the hysterical screams. Now, I don't know whether that conversation's meant for this stream. I don't know. I'll quickly moving on that one. Good evening, Alec. Merry Christmas, all you Blues. Don't worry, City will be back. We've not gone anywhere, mate. You know, we might not win the league, but we've gone nowhere, and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Is that right, Stan? You back with us now, Stan? You back in the game? No. Steve says Lewis is a good squad player. Now, I agree with that. I don't think Rico is the standard at the moment, but that's not his fault because you're right there, Anne-Marie. Yeah. All right. Because he's getting the brunt of a lot of criticism at the moment, isn't he? Bloody hell! What's up with everyone? Has Paddy gone as well now?
I don't think he's necessarily. I think Walker's getting more of the brunt of it than Lewis is. I think with regards to Lewis, though, it's becoming more and more evident that he can't defend, and he's caught out of position more often than not, which will also lead to a goal.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still, he's still finding his way in that team. And it's going to take him, it is going to take him a while because he's still only young and he hasn't got a definitive position.
I've got socks and underpants older than him.
Well, I bet you have.
And I tell you what, I'm still wearing my lucky underpants as well. I've been wearing them now for 6 months and we've still not got a result.
We need to change them.
Anthony says, Andy, we need Alan Kernigan, Alan Harper, Adrian Heath, Wayne Clark, and Mark Ward back. Is Mark Ward still in prison? I don't know. Possibly. Alex says, our biggest win will be the crap charges, a top 4, and a cup will be okay. I don't think there's a lot wrong with what Alex says there, do you, Anne-Marie?
No, I would agree with that. I would completely agree with that.
It's not out of realms of possibility. will finish, say fourth, and win the champions, scrape through the Champions League and win it. Are you back with us now, Paddy? I mean, Stan, who are you? It's because you both sloped off together.
No, it's
You
just
knocked me off and you admitted him.
shite. Fucking internet in the house a little bit. Not a lot you can do, is there?
You remind me of a
neighbours.
mushroom keeping you in the dark. No Andy Morris. I tell you what, Andy Morrison would come in. He'd do a job, wouldn't he? Even a motivational speak. I love Andy Morrison. Alex says, would love the Rags relegate. They've not stopped since. I know. Well, they stopped today, didn't they? Stopped today. Bournemouth. What a great result that was. But you know something? I think I'm not even going to do the United doodah tonight because we need to concentrate on ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
Don't we, Paddy? As much as it makes you laugh. Martin says, is this another youngster we can play and then destroy? Don't know. I don't know which youngster you meant, mate.
He's being sarcastic about Lewis.
I'm not sure. Is this one down, two down? Who's next? What?
He's on about Lewis, the amount of sticks putting in another youngster, i.e. another youngster like Lewis, so the fans can have a go at him.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I was saying before the internet cut out. That you look at, people say bring in a youngster, that's all right, but if they sink or they have a problem like Timson Pusey, he's just come off the back of a 4-1 defeat. They took him out of the firing line, thought, right, we'll give him the last 20 minutes against Ivo, 3-0 up, try and get a little bit of confidence back in it. And then we end up drawing 3-3 and the crowd's on his back again. He's not seen us win yet. It's very hard. It's hard for him. He's an 18-year-old lad. I don't think now is the time to bring in kids. And yes, I do admit and I do see that it just brings this circle around that players are getting more and more tired. That's the trap we're in at the moment.
It is. And do you know, Kathy, I know you can't deal with pessimists. I'm the same. I get called a happy clapper all the time. It's not a case of I'm a happy clapper. I just have a bit of I can think a little bit. I don't go over the top or anything like that. I can see it how it is rather than, we've lost the game and it's the end of the world. I'm a little bit long in the tooth for all that, but I'm the same. Alex says,
that's the irony, Andy. We've got fans out there that complain about mental strength. It took 8 years to build an empire. It took less than 8 weeks for some fans, or about 8 weeks for some fans, to just have a complete meltdown.
Mm-hmm. No. Go on, Anne-Marie. My throat's going. I'll let you read that one.
Yeah, it says this drop-off actually is a bit of a relief. The media might concentrate on others while we rebuild. I think this will happen. I'm not sure, Alec. I think they've spoken more in the last few weeks about our blip than they ever did about all our successes. And I think you kind of feel like the media have been waiting for this to happen so they can have a right go at us. And until we get this sorted, they'll keep doing it. And even if we kind of manage to turn things around a bit and we bring players in January, it'll be all about the money we've spent. And we're in a situation, unfortunately, where we can't win no matter what we do. We play
literally.
Exactly, but we play the best football in the country for years, and it's never really given the praise that it deserves. We get 100 points. It didn't get the praise it deserved. We won the 4 domestic trophies, which Ferguson said could never be done. It didn't get the praise it deserved. We went and did the treble, and automatically it gets compared to United's treble. The difference being, ours was better because
that's what he was saying. Theirs was better.
Oh yeah, but at the end of the day, we went into that competition and won it as champions. We were champions going into the competition.
Yep.
The year United won it, they weren't champions, and so no matter what we do as a club, we will never win at this moment in time. And I guarantee it will get worse if we get cleared of these 115 charges.
Did you say if then?
They'll only say that we bought our way out of it, and there was diplomatic relations at the top, and UAE threatened to stop some 100 billion deal that was never going to go ahead unless City were taken off it. We're not going to win, doesn't matter. But then again, when you're the kings of the world, no one's going to like you.
And that's exactly what I was saying, Stan. No matter what we do from this point on, because we've seen already in the past, it's going to make no difference.
We've said this before.
We're having this blip that we're having.
Do you remember back in the beginning when the money came in? He said, "You'll never win anything because you'll only get mercenaries." We've gone from winning everything with mercenaries to, you're only winning this because the rules have changed. Well, the rules have changed. They've got harder. I don't ever remember Liverpool. It was, what was it, 2003, that transfer window. Anything before that, if we'd have been Liverpool or United pre-2000, we could have gone out and bought half a dozen players already.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have to wait till January. That's how easy it was back then for clubs at the top with money. And that's changed now.
See, a lot of fans forget that, Stan. They've had
don't know, mate.
They've had 30, 40 years, and especially since the Premiership was born in '92, I think it was. They've had all them years. They build that fan base. They build that empire, we'll call it. And all of a sudden, when some Chelsea came along, we came along, Newcastle came along, and now FFP rules are tighter than a duck's arse in water.
I tell you, those three, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, those three thought they'd set themselves up for life, where they continually qualify for the Champions League. And funnily enough, life was great then. They didn't mind it a little bit when Everton popped in for a year and Chelsea had a few years and a couple of other ones, because it's a nice little patronising pat on the head. Oh, well done, lad. You can always get that fourth spot, where you have to then qualify to get into a group stage that they went straight into. Yeah. Then suddenly, things got a little bit funny, and they didn't like it.
Who else, Dan?
Well, they changed all the rules. Well, and they've got that bad, which is what I was saying earlier about we've destroyed them off the pitch. Got that bad. They brought in rules that were unlawful.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say something now that I'm not saying it's controversial, but it's a niggle of mine. It's a little niggle of mine. So you look at, everyone goes on about the Liverpool and the United fan base and, the history and whatever else. And with regards to the two of them, I'm going to start with United. United's built on
tragedy. Say it.
Tragedy. Yeah, exactly.
Say how it is, Anne-Marie. Listen, there's no restrictions on our show. Say exactly what.
No, but that's exactly what it is. It's built on tragedy, and everyone loved United because they were, what happened at Munich and whatever else. And don't get me wrong, what happened at Munich was horrendous, and so many young people died in that accident, and whatever else. But for me, they've cashed in on it for years. Mm-hmm. And
started before that, though, Anthony. Started before that when Louis Edwards made his money.
Yeah, but then he was selling dodgy meat, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His son was his son was looking under ladies' toilet doors. So there's so much shit behind these clubs that isn't kind of discussed. And I would say the same with Liverpool, be it, again, Hillsborough was horrendous, and what happened there and the way it was reported and different things was horrendous. I'm not ever going to dispute that.
Anne-Marie, don't feel you have to defend yourself. Anybody who watches this show who knows you knows you're not saying anything callous or anything like that.
No, and I definitely don't mean it that way. But and in the same way, you look at, if we go back to what happened against Juventus, and what was it, 39? Was it 39 died? 39 Juventus fans died that night. And there's never any, it's never reported with any regret what they did that night.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid watching the football, I remember that night.
A kid?
Yes, it was a kid.
He was about 40.
No, it wasn't. But and that's what, you know, these are the things that have built up the image of these clubs, whereas we don't have that. You know, we've just played our game.
In more modern time, the sports washing a firm that's been fined 1.5 billion on arms deals, dodgy money, you name it, sanction busting, the whole lot. Never been questioned. I've never seen Miguel Delaney do an article on that.
Here's one for you, right? What are we always accused of? City's not got
history.
Now we're going through a shit time, right? And you've got players like Pep going and Grealish going. They're going like, fucking, you're on about fucking history. That's history, that. We've got history now. So let's answer this question. We know Anne-Marie, it'll only be two choices for Anne-Marie. It'll be between Walker and Mahrez.
No, it won't.
What?
No, it won't.
What?
The worst City player I've ever seen is definitely Lee Badby.
Oh, controversial.
And Martin Buster Phillips.
Go on, Paddy. This is only applicable to you since 2009, mate.
I think the worst player I've ever seen was Andy Dibble.
No.
Yeah.
You can't slaughter Champagne Charlie, mate.
Fucking gives me
again,
nightmares still.
Here's one for you, Paddy. Where I went to school, we had to walk from the school to our sports field. And every lunchtime, without fail, his car was parked up outside one of the houses we had to walk past. And you could tell it, you knew it was him because the car had his name on it and it was sponsored by whoever.
Well done, Miss Marple.
Exactly. Every lunchtime, without fail, it was parked up there. But he didn't live there.
Everyone used to think I was Andy Dibble.
What do you mean he was parked up by a school? Like a fucking Jim will fix it, is it?
I'm not saying anything, Paddy, but he was there.
What do you think he was? What do you think he was? A part-time milkman?
Paddy, everyone used to call me Andy Dibble. You know why? Because everyone used to say, Andy, you're a keeper. I know that. I'm a keeper. Anyway.
I'm going to get the name of your dealer.
So we've got Lee Bradbury, Andy Dibble, Stam.
I'm not one of the worst City players ever.
You are. I've seen you play, mate.
How did I get on that list? The worst City, but I've never seen a bad City player. I love them all equally.
I'd say
I get off the fence there with splinters in your arse.
One. There we are.
It's more difficult than the best player, that one.
Oh, here we go. He's from Argentina, is he?
Used to play for the Rags as well.
There you are, you see. Evidence is building. I'm slowly converting everybody.
You know,
it's taken a lot longer than I thought, but I'm getting there.
I'm going to think about that, Anthony, and I'll let you know before the end of the show. Steve says nothing happy about.
How do you know the one thing? All the ex-players watch this, and I wouldn't want to single anybody out. You know, we are friends to the stars.
We are friends to the stars. It's a difficult one, that though, isn't it? Martin says, I'm actually excited about the future. Viagra. I thought that's a Viagra then. Viana and rebuild a new hunger. I'm excited. You know, there's a lot in that as well, but that also means that everyone's blaming Cheeky for, you know, keeping the purse strings closed, and that's not always the case, because it's if Pep wants a player, if Cheeky was that bad at the purse strings and Pep says, I want Jack Grealish, he wouldn't have paid 100 million for Jack Grealish. He went out and he backed him. I don't believe all the cheeky hate.
It's amazing for me, like all these conspiracy theories and people going down rabbit holes. It only ever happens when you're going through a bad spell.
Yeah. And again, it'll come back to what Anne-Marie said earlier.
We can't buy this, and we can't do this, and we can't do that because of the 115 charges. Where has that been the last 4 years?
And it's like what Anne-Marie said earlier. If you win everything, we're destroying the game, and nobody can get a look in because of the vast wealth we have. And then if you don't win anything, well, looking at Pep can't manage. And I
will, and I say this, and it's me included. Mainly Anne-Marie. I mean, mainly. No, every single football fan, I don't care who, I don't give a shiny shit who they are, we are all fickle. Football fans are fickle, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
You know, so you can understand some of it. It's how to control the fickle. That sounds so wrong, that.
Is it time for me sweatshirt and t-shirt?
No, it's not. Mine said,
drum roll.
Can you read it?
Jackie.
Hang on,
up for fuck's sake.
Can I read it? I just need to get it on a panoramic.
Bloody hell, it's a good job I've not got 3D.
Sorry? We got what?
You see the sweatshirt?
It says, nice naughty, I love Maras. Is it?
No, it says I tried.
Where are you going over here? It's that hanky. Oh,
I tell you what, I like gingerbread men, but even I couldn't eat all that.
Gingers are for life, not just for Christmas. Thank you.
See? Gingers are for life, not just for Christmas.
Yes.
Martin says that swiftly moving on. Andy, can you send me back to the oh yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, that's about yeah, if anybody doesn't know, and again, it's that time of the year. I'm doing a little bit of, I've done a bit of collecting. It's for the, for MCFC Food Bank, where there's people in need. I think up to about 300 quid or something so far. So the people who've donated want to stay confidential, which I trust the confidentiality. However, I'm honestly overwhelmed with how people have got involved with it. So I'm going to be doing a big shop tomorrow. It's all going to be documented. And I'll be dropping it off at the Food Bank HQ tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. And I'll be doing a little video, not because of look what I've done kind of thing. The reason why I'll be doing that is just to show people that
Andy,
I've done it.
Can we transfer to the? I've got bank details for you, but I didn't know whether they were separate to the your Savage Online.
I'll send them. I'll send them after the show. Shortly.
Thanks.
No, cause I just think it's because there's people out there, and what was really brought it home to me as well. I was told off one of the guys from the food bank. There's actually teachers and nurses who are regularly going to food banks, and that's as well as just like people who've got kids or living on their own, whatever circumstances. It's just not right in this day and age where people have not got any money to go and buy food, especially if it's somebody like a nurse who's working at A&E sorting you out, who's teaching your kids and stuff, but they can't afford to eat. What kind of society is it? So anyway, that's my little thing. So I will be documenting all that anyway to tomorrow. Mark says the media keeps saying players won't join until the 145 is sorted. The proof will be in the pudding.
That's the red cartel media. Just be careful.
I'd say the proof will be in the pudding in less than 2 weeks, because that's when the transfer window will be open, mate.
How long have these 115 charges been hanging over our head?
Couple of years.
and yet we've never managed to sign anyone.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to keep that comment on for that long. I was listening to Stan. Anyway, mine. Oh, seriously, mate. Thank you. Honestly, there's no need to for super chats or anything like that, mate. I read everybody's out. You know that. I'm just running through some of the chats because it's been so busy tonight. Busy. Andy,
There's a fella that could go out of business.
Andy, what?
That fella, that last comment, Goldbridge, he's going to go out of business once Man City are found not guilty.
No, he won't, because United are going to be shit for ages, aren't they? So, he'll be able to make his money on that. Still. Keeping you awake, Stan?
You are.
Jesus God. Andy, did you know Pepper's won 53 trophies in his full career, more than Arsenal's entire history? Sack him. Yeah. And that's it, mate. It's absurd, isn't it? I don't know what part that means from Alec, but Anne-Marie, spot on.
When I was talking about United and Liverpool.
I'm just lost with where everyone is now. Oh, mine says worst, Barry Conlon. That's a good shout, that, actually, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I was never an Alan Harper fan.
Oh, actually, I'm going to read some through these. Jerry Craney. There's another one. And no, Anthony, wash your mouth out. Vonky Vonky.
No, nowhere near.
Paddy, how do you remember Vonky? He was pre-2009.
I have moment. I have little bits.
He's watched the History Channel, Andy.
And by the way, Vonky is a friend of the show, so I will have no disrespect to our Michelle. He's a good lad. His kids are City fans as well. Very Craney, wow. The lad Keegan, but we never saw him play. The Argentinian.
Yeah, I remember him. He was up front, wasn't he? Not the one that you're thinking that I'm thinking of. But he was. Yeah, he was.
What was he called? The Argentinian.
Yeah.
Not thinking of the Mexican.
Yeah, he might have been Mexican. Yeah. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Caicedo or something like that.
No, he's Colombian, wasn't he?
No, it wasn't. I tell you, the worst ever, Simon Colosimo. Get out of that one.
Get out of that one. I tell you what, mate, it's a hard one there. Kathy says, who helped United back in City with players? Yeah, after World War II, we let them use our ground, etc. The fans don't know that.
Got it. I remember Matthias Viusu.
Yeah, that's the one. Great. Hey, tell you what, well done, Anthony, on that one. So what's the other one? Oh, no.
Unfortunately, he doesn't count as he never did play for us, so we've got nothing to go off.
They called you Andy Dibble, Andy.
Andy Dribble.
Read it properly.
Oh, sorry. No, that says more like dribble. Oh, yeah, Andy Dribble, yeah. Oh, don't pick on me. I'm not well.
We've not done very well with kids from Mexico, have we? Because we've had that near Castillo as well.
You're just showing you can read the comments, Stan.
Yeah.
Why somebody said near the Castillo?
Yeah. Shed Keegan.
Did Stan was retired today, did he?
No, I wasn't.
You what?
No, mine. I wasn't saying you about Cheeky. It's how many times do we see everybody blaming Cheeky? I don't mean you personally.
Yes, he does.
Well, we don't have to worry about Cheeky, he's going, so he won't need any new ideas. He's just handing the ropes over to Viana. So that's the end of that.
I don't know what Alex on about. Well, I've got a rough idea. Oh, Benjani. I tell you what, there's some belters here now, isn't there? Oh, who's the worst one? We'll have to do a show, won't we?
Oh, the bloody fella we signed from Swansea.
Bonnie.
Yeah, he was shocking.
Oh, yeah, and that Crystal Palace fullback as well, Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde.
There's always going to be somebody, Kathy, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. It's just, it shouldn't happen this day and age. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. And it's a bugbear in mine that. Mine says, God's going, I'll take care. All Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All have a great time and keep safe. Babe Station, more like Victoria Sponge.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Neri Castillo was Mexican. He got put in prison, didn't he?
What wasn't that Gaudino?
No, he was the Italian, not Stallion. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was going to crack a joke about tequila, but it doesn't matter. Bianchi, yeah. Vuso was Argentina. Yeah, he was. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah. Evening DC. Go well.
Mexican.
It's right. I was only going to do till 8 o'clock, but it's been another good show, and I've struggled Anta today because I wasn't going to do the show. Some people.
You were. The words we would use, Andy, is you were a grumpy sod this afternoon. But we talked you round. Paddy talked you round.
No, it's just that it's one of the reasons why I like doing our show, right? Is because and I don't mean just people's shows, by the way. I'm not on about content creators or anything like that. It's not content creator wars. I'm on about general in Twitter and stuff like that. I've not really logged on Twitter because everyone's beating on about the same crap all the time. That's why we like to mix it up a little bit, innit?
You can get medication now, Andy, for them cramps.
For them what?
The cramps you have.
Cramps?
Yeah.
What are you on about?
The cramps you had today when you were in bad form, you can get medication for that now.
Anne-Marie, what's he on about?
I think he's taking the piss, Andy.
Don't know. I don't know.
You were grumpy this afternoon.
I wasn't grumpy.
Yes, you were.
I'm not.
I wasn't grumpy. He says getting angry.
I've not been feeling well. I've had man flu. You don't know what it's like, Anne-Marie, to have man flu. Or maybe you do.
She's had 5 at Old Trafford.
Listen, thank you for joining us. Why are you shaking your head?
You cheeky sod.
I'm only reading Paddy's mind.
Don't blame Paddy. Paddy's a gentleman.
They call me
exactly, Anne-Marie.
Kathy, we will always keep it light and fun. That's what we do. And that's why we're not that popular, because we have a laugh and stuff like that. But you know something? That's what City fans do. That's what we
don't spout shit, Kathy. We just tell it as it is.
Well, Andy does. We just have to keep him in check.
I tell you what, you need to start giving me some checks. Anyway, listen. Thank you for joining us. It's our last one till after Christmas now. So, listen.
Yeah, a bit like the players. We need a Christmas break.
No, and it's not often.
Regroup.
It's not often that I'm serious, and I am going to be serious. As I said earlier, if anybody's just joined, over on our Facebook group, I'm not trying to get over you onto our Facebook group. I couldn't give a shiny one who goes there. The point is, we've got a live chat open on our Facebook group for those who are feeling lonely all the way through Christmas or whatever, so they can speak to people. Our DMs are always open if you need a chat, rant, cry, laugh, whatever. We're available. Look after each other, because not everybody loves Christmas. Just try and enjoy it, and we'll be back in after Christmas. Just try and enjoy it, guys.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Look after yourselves.
And we are here for everybody. Oh, some comments are coming. Hang on. Hope you rats get relegated, you mugs. Denied the best team in the Premier League. Arsenal. As soon as you got to that, mate. As soon as you got to that, your credibility went.
He's right, though. We have deserved everything we've got. 4 on the row. The treble destroyed Arsenal home and away over the years. Yeah, it's
Bye, Chris.
Elliot, good evening, Elliot. Anyone heard about a bloke shouting at a young lad and kicking him out of his car because he was slugging the club? Oh, yeah, right. So I need to tell this little story before I go.
Andy, did you kick a young lad out of your car?
No, right, no. This is.
Is he called Adam?
No. Listen, my daughter's.
You're involved, aren't you? You can tell.
Just listen. You might like this. So, my daughter's newish boyfriend is a City fan. Like, my daughter and her boyfriend got in my car last night. He'd been to Villa Park and stuff like that, and he got in my car pissed, and he started going on about, oh shit. He started slagging Kyle Walker off, so I stopped my car and I went, get out. He's like, oh, get out. I said, you're not slagging any players off in my car. And I said to my daughter, if he carries on, I'm going to ban you from going out with him as well. I was joking, but he thought I was serious.
Good.
Exactly.
So, Anne-Marie, do you agree with me now? No, because I'd have to send you out of my car if you was ever going to be in my car. Hang on, I'm digging here now.
Yeah, you are digging. But no, I wouldn't slag him. I don't slag him off, Andy. What I do is just point out little things where he isn't quite as good as he used to be. That's all.
I was joking to him, though, when I pulled up. He was drunk, and my daughter was drunk, and I wasn't, obviously, because I was driving. I don't condone drinking and driving, guys. But, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for that, Elliot.
Elliot, well done. If you get any more little nuggets like that, will you please pass them on?
Yeah, and, for the final comment of the night, Anne-Marie, because we love you so much, I'll let you read the last comment of this year out.
Merry Christmas, everyone, especially Kyle Walker.
Nice one, Elliot. Listen, have a great Christmas. If not, you know where our DMs are. Like that. Don't suffer in silence. Enjoy. Spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones, rather than football, because you don't want to be.
It's more important.
Yeah. Have a great one, everyone, and
take care, everyone.
Bye now.
Bye.